Zaki, chill out.
What's going on, you guys? This is your boy Jeameave back here at Views from the Heart, and today I have a Genesis G90 courtesy of South Bay Hyundai. Once again, thank you so much to Jermaine for this opportunity. And as I mentioned, the G90 is basically the flagship model of the Genesis line. The Genesis line, you can attribute that to akin the as how Lexus entered.
Listen, if they're not gonna be there, who's gonna be there? Lil Pump. My fault. What's going on, bro? What's going on, everybody? You already know that it's Big Mac back in the building.
It's my brother, for those who may not know. But like I said, the Genesis line is akin to, how should I say, as how Toyota has Lexus as a subdivision in its luxury division. This is what Hyundai is trying to do with having the Genesis lineup, as making it its premier luxury brand and showcasing that the South Korean car company is uplifting itself and providing a luxury experience similar and comparable to that of a Mercedes S-Class. But it's our job to tell you guys if it's living up to the expectations. So let's go ahead and take this bad boy for a spin and see what it's all about. So what's it like driving a 2019 Hyundai, sorry, not Hyundai, Genesis G90? I keep getting confused. Remember, again, the Genesis is the luxury line, a la Lexus is for Toyota, Genesis is for Hyundai. And honestly, this is incredibly comfortable. Like, this is definitely, in just a few moments that I'm driving this, it's very spacious. The steering is extremely vague, but again, it's really trying to target an audience that can offer more affordable. Again, this isn't necessarily cheap, but it is a more affordable alternative to, you know, a Mercedes S-Class, a luxury barrage vehicle. And honestly, I'm very impressed with the ride quality. Tony, how are you feeling right now?
To be honest, it's a smooth ride. Excuse my language. But no, it's a very nice.
It feels very confident.
Yeah.
It feels very stable on the road. It just overall feels really good, and honestly, I'm extremely impressed by this. I'm very surprised.
Yeah, I'm very.
You know, the previous model to this was called the Equus, I believe. If I'm probably butchering that name, but I remember it's EQUUS. And that ended in 2015, 2016, and then that was when Hyundai decided to homologate their brand by offering a luxury-oriented alternative to their brand. Remember, there used to be the Genesis Coupe, and I guess initially they tried to issue 3 brands, with the Equus being luxury and the Genesis being sporty, because as far as I can recall, the Genesis Coupe was the only thing that had the Genesis moniker. But obviously, as of recently, they changed that and scrapped that and decided to make the Genesis the premier brand with the wings and everything like that. It actually looks really nice. The exterior design to me is a little bit too traditional in my opinion. I feel like they tried to play a little bit too conservative with the exterior design. But the interior design is honestly very lovely. Aesthetically, it's very pleasing. I feel like for this class range, and mind you, this is still meant to be a little bit more affordable than some of its contemporaries. There is a little bit too much use of some soft touch plastics, but to be honest, you have to really go out of your way to find them. Like perhaps on the like on certain buttons and like on the glove compartment box, you can see it's a rubberized texture, rubberized plastic. But overall, that's pretty much the only place. Even on the door sill, similar, but even on the inside of the door sill, it has like a felt suede material to, I guess, to curb any sort of noise. If you have like a phone in there, anything that could possibly rattle against plastic, could subdue some of the noise that it would make. And overall, like I said, this is extremely comfortable. I'm not really a luxury car person, but I definitely see the place and why some people would want something like this, because overall, like we're literally riding on a cloud right now. and I'm honestly very impressed, because the only other vehicle that I felt this comfortable in before in driving is honestly a Mercedes S-Class. And the reason I keep bringing up the Mercedes S-Class is because the S-Class is ubiquitous for pretty much anyone that knows luxury oriented things, especially car rides. Is the bar is the S-Class. That's just kind of where every other car maker tries to imitate, duplicate, whatever you want to call it. They try, and everything that they make luxury wise that is targeting that segment should be, especially, at least in my very own opinion, should be compared to the S-Class, because the S-Class sets the bar for everything else. Just like how the BMW 3 Series used to set the bar for that, for the luxury sporty compact segment. But overall, I'm very impressed with this vehicle. It feels extremely comfortable. There is space for pretty much any body type in here. My brother is just about 6'4". He has incredible leg room, both in the front and the back. We have my guy Frank back there. He's sitting very comfortable. Once again, shout out to South Bay Hyundai for this opportunity. Once again, thank you so much to Jermaine and my guy Frank in the back. But overall, again, everywhere you touch and feel, you have like nice leather surfaces, nice soft touch plastic or like rubberized texture. The gear selector is a little odd per se. I mean, it's obviously usable. It's better than a dial to me, but there's not much travel. It's kind of just up and then down and then buttons apart. But overall, again, you kind of have a little bit of an overflow of buttons. This is not touchscreen. That's okay, because I'm not much of a touchscreen user anyway. I think it's kind of I think it's a little bit redundant, and I don't really see myself using a touchscreen while I'm driving. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Sure. I feel like it's too much of a distraction, and a button just feels a lot more tactile, and you will always remember where a button is, but you might kind of move around a little bit too much when it comes to touchscreen. Now, some people might be like, well, you know, this is an $80,000 car, why isn't it up? Personally, I don't feel like it's being missed in here. I don't really see a purpose for it. But you know, I guess if it's trying to be competitive, I guess that'd be a good thing to add in the future or what have you. But overall, again, like I said, this vehicle primarily is meant for driving pleasure. And again, I understand what it is, and it's just the steering is one of the most vague steerings I've felt, and that's both a good thing and a bad thing. Like I said, I guess, let me see if there's a sport mode in here. Driving mode, say driving mode, sport. We are in sport now, and let me see how it feels. See how it feels. So overall, see that. So this does have a 4.7. Sorry, excuse me, I said 4.7. I was thinking a 0 to 60 times. It has a 5-liter V8 pushing 420 horsepower. And 383 pound-feet of torque. And overall, the sport mode has definitely made the throttle response a lot more pedal happy, to say the least. But it feels very good in here. Let me see. I'm gonna look over here. Wow, that's impressive. That is honestly impressive. And this vehicle has a 8-speed automatic. Again, it's a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 pushing 420 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. And this vehicle does have a curb weight of just under 4,800 pounds. And 4,800 pounds coupled with 3 adults in here. This is not a light vehicle by any means. This is pushing well over 5,000 pounds right now. But yet, that definitely, as well as it being rear-wheel drive, that getup was very nice. It felt very composed, very strong. And again, a lot of that can be attributed to the new 8-speed automatic that Hyundai and Genesis has been implementing in their vehicles. Left. So overall, like I said, it's love. Sorry, this person was reversing. I'm like, you please don't reverse into this car. We don't need those problems. But again, like I said, sport mode definitely changed the car a lot. The steering, let's see, I'm about to make a left turn right here. It's made not like, oh my god, it turned into sports car steering, but it definitely invigorated a little bit. It got a little bit heavier, still a little bit too vague, but it feels a little bit more understandable and a little bit more fun. But overall, the sport mode is definitely, for the most part, awakened the V8 that's within here, and I'm pleased to see that it does have a V8 option, and the fact that it's naturally aspirated. I think that's really cool, and they still managed to pack out 420 horsepower in here, so it's no slouch. And that's incredible to me, considering the fact that, again, like I said, this vehicle is pushing well over 5,000 pounds with 3 occupants in here. And just imagine how much it would be pushing with, you know, fully loaded with 5 people in here. It does have a heads-up display. You probably would never be able to see it on camera, but it's actually pretty visible. This is one of the first cars where I can see the heads-up display and it being very bright, and it's displaying, you know, the speed limit as well as the current speed that I'm going. So that's really cool. I never really experienced that before, but it's actually a really nice touch because it's not distracting. Jesus, this person is crazy. It's not distracting, it's just displaying, you know, really good information. And like I said, overall, no matter what, I know we're kind of going over like a little bump, kind of a turbulent road right now. Very little excess noise or road imperfections are being translated within the cabin. And overall, Tony, how are you feeling so far with how comfortable the vehicle has been thus far?
No, to be honest, this part, like you said, is like riding on clouds.
This is honestly, I can honestly sit here and say that ride-wise, it's comparable to the S-Class that we've done.
Yeah, before. And that's what I was about to relate it to, only for the simple fact that we have rode in numerous luxury cars. However, for this being a Genesis, I'm actually getting shook how comfortable this is, how luxurious it is on the inside, and as well you can get that again. I don't know if you hear it on cameras, ladies and gentlemen, but that V8 definitely get your bang out for your buck.
And even then, I'm really impressed by the sound deadening in here. It's really quiet in this cabin. It's probably going to be one of the best audio quality we can have because I'm pretty sure that our cameras could still pick up the sound of the V8. It's still very quiet and very isolated in here. And I think that's absolutely incredible. And the fact that it's still pretty fast, I'm not gonna lie. It's something that I could, if I were to be given this vehicle, I would not be, it doesn't feel lethargic. It feels definitely powerful enough to where it would give me enough feedback and enjoyable, even for short spurts of, should I say, spirited driving. But overall, like I said, this vehicle is honestly, it's still, again, it's not necessarily cheap because it is around $72,000. But when you keep that in mind, the G90 comes with so many features standard that you begin to see a little bit more of a bargain, because a lot of the German automakers tend to have a base price and then have a million options and packages in here, and the price can really skyrocket from its base price to up to well over $20,000 over what you thought you were going to pay. But realistically speaking, this $72,000 pretty much includes everything you see here. The dual camera, as you saw in the beginning when we were pulling off, the screen is actually really clear. It has very good clarity. And overall, like I said, this is I see very, very, very good value in here. And honestly, like I said, I would not be displeased with this whatsoever. And I don't think it would be fair to say that this vehicle is trying to be anything other than offering a better or a cheaper alternative for a very lovely interior, and at the same time still being comparable to, you know, world class. And that is a very hard thing to do with something like this, because you always combat, people love chasing brands, people love talking about certain, oh, it's this or it's that. Honestly, those are like people, talk to people first, experience things first. So just because this might be not your Mercedes or whatever you want to call it, don't knock it till you try it, experience it and understand you, and I promise you, you'll be pleasantly surprised as to how well this vehicle performs, both in its luxury amenities, what it offers, and how well it drives. And I think I covered everything else that I need to about this vehicle.
You definitely did.
Again, I love the interior. It has incredible power for how much it weighs. I highly recommend checking this out, because I guarantee you, don't go brand chasing trying to flex what you don't have, because what this offers is definitely comparable to pretty much anything else in this market segment. So that said, this is Views from the Heart. It's your boy Jeameave.
Your boy Machiavelli.
Thank you guys for watching. Have a blessed day, and hope to see you guys in the next video. I'm out.